Is it recording? Yes, it is. Good. Hello, and people, welcome to the qualifications of the last map we did, which was Death Island. Again, not to be confused with Dead Island, even though that one also has zombies in it.
And
Probably better gameplay.
yeah,
My first thoughts about this map before we actually start review. When we downloaded this map, we seen what it looked like. We thought it was kind of a cool idea, but it gave us a lot of questions on what they were trying to do because it straight up told us what we had in store. One was we had to gather items. And we thought, okay, that's simple enough. Then it had cash, which confused the fuck out of us.
well, it was kind of annoying.
When we found out, it got even more annoying. So anyway, it first impressions was confusing, so we thought it was kind of a special map that we had to try, see what it was trying to do. We found out what it was trying to do and realized it is kind of dumb. Out of sequence for the parts. There is no progression. There is really, this map had a lot going for it. Just inevitably, it was just horrid because of it.
It's misused.
Yeah,
If you rework this map, it would be a lot better.
it needs to be resequenced. So that third part needs to be the first part. That's the first part needs to be maybe the second. The third part needs to be where the third part of it needs to be the second part that you have currently, and of course the final should be remained. However, the finale needs to be shortened. That's another thing.
Yeah,
It's kind of too long getting to there. By the time we reach it, there is no more health kits. That's a big issue when we need it the most. Not only that, you threw in a lot of obstacles, making it harder than it should be when it's already hard enough.
and it was a dumb idea that did was in the first place. Fault.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you
Default
have
zombie fault.
zombie farts. You got poisonous gas. That's another thing that needs to be taken out. There is no need for it. It's there to kind of annoy you, and it doesn't help when you got to comment all around you and you got to help your teammate, and they just so happen to be underneath or close to that poison gas. That's just not well designed. That's just making it harder than it should be, and it's prolonging the point of the map. Anyway, so let's move on to the actual qualifications. 5 stars max, 1 star minimum, and number one, number of infected. What'd you think?
Number of infected. Had I'll give it. Oh, I don't. It was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot of infected. We don't know the official number. We never could find out the stats. Plus, we had to do a restart.
I'm gonna give it half a star. It felt off. It felt off.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a half a star as well. There are parts where the common alone just felt overwhelming. Let alone, we had tanks. Specifically, the last time we tried that finale, we had a tank that just nearly destroyed us.
We weren't even. Wait. What were we? 3 seconds into it.
And suddenly tank. You know, that's something you need to fix.
You're supposed to get tanks on the finale until you actually start the bloody finale.
Yeah, random tanks kind of ruin it for you. It's nothing like Death Hour. Death Hour kind of did it the right way. We knew what we were going in and expected it, but we also had help in terms of like 5 bots. So it made tanks a little easier to get by. Whereas this one, it was just me and Kyo, and as soon as one of us gets separated, there's really no way for the tank to get killed by the bots. Because the bots could be with one of the players, and the players can get fucked. And then myself, I have to be forced to heal. So there's that. Not only that, the finale itself, there's just besides the obstacles, it was hard enough without them. But you have the specials, and then we got to go on to the fact that the first part of the map when we run into, you counted about 46 special infected just in that part alone.
Yeah.
That's kind of too much. Drop that down to maybe half that and you're good. You should know, no part of the map should never have 46 specials unless you're playing Tank Playground or something.
I mean, we played through entire maps that don't even have that many special infections in the entire map.
Outside of Outbreak. Outbreak's long map, and that's deservedly right. This is a 4-part map, whereas Outbreak's 7.
Yeah.
There's a big difference.
I mean, 46 is about as many special infected you should encounter in
the entire
total
campaign. Yeah.
4 parts. Yeah.
This just one part of a 4-part map, suddenly 46 alone. It's too much. Way too much. You need to work with the AI director on that, if you can. I don't know if you can. And drop that down to about half. This is way too much. So moving on to the length of campaign. We clocked this in. Since we never really got an official one, we were forced to restart in part 3 because of a glitch. We clocked it in on my recording, and it was an hour and 48 minutes, roughly.
So about 2 hours if you want.
If you want to go with that. And for a 4-part map, that's way too long. There is no doubt. I don't know what Keel wants to give it in terms of star rating, though. What would you give it?
Well, seeing as it's breaking every rule of length for a 4-star map, I give it none.
Yeah, I'll give it a 0 as well. Given there was restarts, but those restarts didn't really impact the length too much. One where we were forced to restart the base and go back to lobby, that one I don't even count because I got into a glitch. That's not a restart. That's reloading the goddamn map. A restart is when we all die. You have to go back on that map. And when we had to do it 3 fucking times on that finale alone, and that finale's, the length of it alone is longer than it should ever be. It takes us about 10 minutes just to get to point A to get started with the finale. That's too long. I mean, I've played maps that have that length, but that shouldn't be that long. I mean, the finale should be at tops 20 minutes. That one felt like about 30 minutes just getting to point A to point B sometimes.
Well, that's even before you even blitzed out the bloody finale.
Yeah, and when we blitzed through it, we did it in 15 minutes. Still, it's too damn long, you know. That finale alone really added the time, and that needs to be reworked. It needs to be shortened down. Mainly the staircase thing. That is just stupid. I don't know why you have that. That's artificially lengthening the map that does not need to be in there. So moving on. Difficulty. Did it fit normal? Was there enough health items? Was there too many specials? I'm going to say that this was all kinds of wrong.
Yeah, it was... Health packs were non-existent when you needed them.
Yeah. Especially in part 3.
And guns were non-existent when you needed them.
Yeah.
There was more special infected than there was ever needed to be. And even length plays a factor in the difficulty here.
Right.
I'll give it none.
Yeah, this is a 0 for difficulty. We play normal difficulty. This is like extreme in a lot of ways. When we don't get health and we got specials all over the place, that's not good. Let alone part 3 alone, we couldn't even find a way to get health unless it was a special, like a certain specials common infected that we had to find, which was the survivor. That's the only way we can get health. That's bad. You need to open that up. Let alone the fact that that area alone is retardedly bad. I know what you were trying to go with, but instead of having us find specific weapons for cash, how about you just make one that says unlocks rifles, unlocks shotguns, and unlocks snipers. or unlocks melees, which you did for the melee, which was nice, but everything else is just stupid.
Yeah.
And then you also have to get 4 just to get the gate open. Drop that to 1. I understand it's a scavenger hunt kind of idea. It kind of works, but it doesn't.
It's also the part that needs to be moved to the beginning of the campaign.
That's a bad part too. You need to
because when you lose all your weapons
at the very start
between sections, that does not make happy players.
Yeah, you're just taking it away, saying, "Hey, ha, ha." You know, you have to go get all that shit again. Don't do that. You're begging your player to hate your map, and you've frustrated us. So remove that, or just replace the first one with the third one. Just switch them out. The first part of the map, again, that's the same idea. You're using it twice now, where we have to go scavenger hunt for items. That's okay, but way too damn long. You need to fix that and shorten it down. Instead of going for 8 cabins, how about dropping it down to 4?
And you don't need that much beer. My God.
Yeah, you don't need that much beer. You don't need that much food.
Well, food, maybe. But beer, no. You can pretty much take all that away.
Yeah, you need to drop that down to maybe 4. Just 4 cabins you have to search for, instead of making it 8. That's another reason why your special infected was way too high. Other than that, the second part of the map wasn't too bad. Nor was the finale, other than its own length. So yeah, it's a 0 in terms of difficulty. We're also kind of in design already, because what we were mentioning about parts. I think you can agree this is a 0. It's just all over the place to me.
Yeah,
it does stay within theme.
It is. It's in theme. I give you it's in theme.
But that's not enough to give it a star.
It's everything else takes away from it.
Yeah.
To such a degree.
Yeah.
Like it just.
We just can't give.
You've done so much wrong that we can't even credit you for what you've done right.
Yeah. It usually when we have this type of things, we're already hitting 3 zeros straight, which kind of ultimately means this is not a map we're going to recommend. Which means you only got a half-star map here. And that's sad. We give you half a star for the infected in general because it wasn't too bad to where we couldn't get through it, but it was a little overwhelming. But everything else you kind of did wrong. Length is way too long, especially for 4-part. If you're gonna have a 4-part, if you're gonna have that kind of length in a 4-part map, make sure you kind of balance everything out. The second part of the game, the whole campaign, was relatively short compared to the first part. And a lot of that was just artificial lengthening, which is bad. We don't like that. It's nothing like Outbreak. Outbreak, if you played that blind, there's a lot of artificial lengthening. But if you played it a second time, knew where everything was, even that map is just at most 2 hours long. And that's 7 parts. We expect that for a 7-part map. This, however, is a 4-part map, and it's reaching that 2-hour mark. That's too long. You need to drop the artificial length and time down. You need to drop that badly. Difficulty-wise, you need to balance that out really badly, and in terms of design, you need to fix the way you sync which parts go where. That first part, it's fine. Just need to drop how many cabins we go into, and it should be moved to maybe the second or third part. And of course, the third part needs to be replace the first one, or you got to get rid of that part entirely. It just doesn't work. As far as I'm concerned, everything else was okay. The name stays fine. You don't have to change that. But yeah, this map was just not good. It was more frustrating. It was kind of boring in a lot of ways. That's all I can really say about it. I don't know if you have any added information there, Keo.
Lehman Russ is disappointed.
Yeah, it's better than Town Escape. We'll give it that. Town Escape was a
Oh,
quarter
God.
of a star, at most. Me and Dread gave it 0. Keo gave it a quarter. That was a bad map, an entirely bad map. This one at least gets a half a star.
You can salvage this map.
This one can be salvaged, yes. So at least you got something going for you. It's not the worst map we've played.
You
But,
can salvage this.
Yeah, if it's not the worst map and you've seen our review of Town Escape, you know your map could be salvaged if you just barely beat that map. Because that map, you can't salvage that. That is just horrid. This map's pretty damn close, though. I'm gonna admit that. It's too all over the place. You don't have any balancing issues, and it's far from completed. The glitches hurt so much. Especially in part 3, when I just suddenly no-clip through the map. That you need to fix. Yeah, need to fix a couple other glitches that we've ran into. I can't remember where they were. It's just... It's too long. Too many... It's kind of overwhelming with the infected. Doesn't stay within difficulty. Maps all over the place. There's no way. There's no way we'll play this again unless you fix all your shit. We might try the finale again on our own time, just to see what happens afterwards, because we never actually got past it. Came close. The first time around, we almost did it. Just if it wasn't for that fucking jockey. But yeah, it's not a good map. It's not fun. And that's all we can really say about it. If you want to add anything more to that, go ahead, Q.
You make the Emperor sad.
Yeah, you do. So anyway, to the creator, fix your fucking map. That's all we can say. You could salvage this. It's got some innovation. We wanted to see it better, though. It's got to be used better. You got it all over the place right now. This map should go back to beta. Maybe even alpha. It's not completed. Sorry, guys. It's nowhere close to being completed. Anyways, we're going to head off. So I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's all I can say. Keep watching our videos. Keep us entertained. And please, for the love of God, comment. So we can figure out what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. It's not hard. Christ. Anyway. See you later.